Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. r/ask Reddit by Planet Reddit. If you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would you ask? The lotto numbers of the next pot over 10 millions in Germany. I want a settled life without worrying about money : I can't believe I had to scroll this far to find your comment. It's terrible that I was there thinking, is there a God? And what happens after death? And yet this is clearly the right answer. In all fairness, I think I would be much happier not knowing the answer to those questions. I'll take money, technology, and happy ignorance for 500. Trebok. Was cats the reason that 2020 was condemned by the gods? Search your feelings. You know it to be true. No. I hate sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating and gets everywhere. What is the origin source cause of consciousness? I feel like the answer would probably be disappointing. Probably like, it emerged by chance when proteins joined together in the correct order, in an adequate container, among other compatible proteins, and biochemical processes created a faint electric spark. That's not boring at all. That would mean not only can we recreate consciousness in machines, we can modify it as well. Maybe even transfer it. I'd like a robot body in the future. Will mankind ever interact with aliens? Are we alone? Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. Arthur C. Clarke. Probably both are true. The universe is probably host to billions of intelligent species, but if the nearest one is in Andromeda, we will never get to see them. Born too late to explore the oceans. Born too early to explore the galaxies. Edit. Yeah, I could have worded that differently. I know that 95% of the ocean and its secrets are still undiscovered. How do I easily find the answers to any possible questions? Better. How do I easily find the answers to any impossible questions? You cannot. For should you find the answers, they would not be impossible questions. Birth of a paradox. Why are we here? Just to suffer. Live, laugh, live. I prefer suffer, sorrow, scorn. I prefer eat, shit, die. Why did you capitalize vegetal like that? Everyone knows typing like that makes you sound more official. It reminds me of shitty clickbait ads. You can know the truth to any question. You won't believe what happens next. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? African or European? I don't know. Your question. Just to mess around with the gods of the universe and maybe cause a horrific recursion. Dad, what are you doing? Ensuring humanity never gets to understand why everything has happened, happens and will ever happen. Dad, are you a furry? Who let the dogs out? What does the fox say? Why did the chicken cross the road? But first, chicken or the egg? Is Annie okay? R.I.P. Annie. I am trying my best. Did Brian eat my muffin? I only set it down for a second and he was the only one in our break room when I got back. No, it was guaranteed Kyle. Sneaky little luck. I'm offended by this. But you didn't deny it. I don't know the question, but I know the answer already. It's 42. What is the ultimate question to life? The universe and everything? I was going to put that, but I'll add it here. What will be the most impactful invention from now on into our entire future? The Ansible. Basically tethered pairs of particles that can transfer information faster than the speed of light. If we ever begin to colonize space, this would be absolutely crucial. Moving information is great. Creating matter, organic matter even more so, from energy would be even better. That would be one hell of an invention. What happens to the soul after death? What if souls aren't a thing? What if God was one of us? What if God was all of us? Where, and I cannot stress the importance of the question enough, is Waldo? Dude, I've been looking for Carmen Sandiego since 1998. How in the world do I rotate text in Ms. Paint? What are all your bank details, including PIN? JP Morgan Chase, brown brick building, asphalt parking lot, tinted windows, 24H ATM in the parking lot, couple of trees. As for the PIN, I think their bulletin board uses some sort of map tack. S'n me up for the 24 behind to mouth. What happened to all the missing people? Answer: they died or will die. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? 47. In a row. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? I counted this when I was a kid. 476. I got 452 when I counted one time. I honestly believe that I was the first kid ever to discover the answer to this question. Amount of licks determined by tongue size confirmed. How to be happy, live a good life. I'd leave all the why do we exist stuff without an answer. I'm not sure if I'd want to live with that information. Would be nice to ask something like, is there a cure for cancer? And receive a yes or a no so humans could figure it out themselves. A better question: is there a cure for death? With yes, either a zombie apocalypse or all of the problems that make us die will eventually be smoothed out. Why not ask what is the cure for cancer or something like that? Because cancer isn't just one thing, but rather a bunch of similar conditions lumped under a single banner. Join our community Discord, link in description. What if I'm asking a question I can't comprehend the answer of? Do I get like papers explaining it, or do I get the comprehension for it? Because if I can actually keep the answer instead of it fluttering out of my fragile mind, I'm gonna ask for the unified field theory. Imagine the benefits. Our technology would advance by thousands of years in the blink of an eye. I need papers that explain your question. Are we alone in the universe? What the yuck is going on in America? People are coming ucking and glued, and the unhinged lunatics are the conductors of this farcical symphony. The social fabric is more like a social pair of nylons. Turns out you can destroy with a twig. Is this really all because there's no sports to channel our monkey tribalism? I always knew there were a lot of people barely keeping it together under the best of circumstances, but I didn't realize it was this many and they'd be so vocal about it during the worst. Is this really all because there's no sports? Sort of. This is what happens when the people don't have their cake and circus. Recency bias. People will always claim that the world is suddenly going crazy. Remember when the economy fell apart while two different wars were in full force? How about when JFK and RFK and MLK and Malcolm X were all shot while America was busy invading Vietnam? And it didn't really matter, because nuclear annihilation was right around the corner. God forbid we remember a Great Depression bookended by world wars. The news will constantly tell you that everything's coming unglued, because that's good for ratings. But we're not living in historically terrible times. The world's big, and it's weird, and it's not going anywhere. So do what you like, help people when you can, and try to enjoy the ride. Who made the word subtle have a very subtle letter in it? Where the yuck have all my socks gone? I ate them. The crunchy one tasted weird. I'd find out what sports team is going to win despite unlikely odds in the near future and then bet everything on it. Why? Why do we exist? Why does there have to be a reason? You see, when a male and a female love each other very much, they have a special way of touching each other to show it. Then 9 months after touching each other, a stork shows up and drops a baby off at their front door. What happened before Big Bang? Little Bang? Who is sex? And why do I keep getting arrested for offending him? Is he like super sensitive? How can I live my best life? How can I get laid? Stop trying to get laid. Instead, develop yourself as a person. Put energy into your career. Find things to be passionate about. Develop your skills. Do things that make you feel self-confident. Pay attention to your appearance. Skinny, gain some weight and muscle. Overweight, lose some weight and tone up. Be active in your community and do activities that involve regularly meeting other human beings. Work, take classes, do volunteer work. Don't stay home sitting in front of your computer. Maybe watch less anime. Practice good grooming and hygiene. Wear clothes that fit and flatter. Become the kind of person a member of the opposite sex would want to be with. Instead, develop yourself as a person. Put energy into your career. Find things to be passionate about. Develop your skills. Do things that make you feel self-confident. Pay attention to your appearance. Skinny, gain some weight and muscle. Overweight, lose some weight and tone up. Be active in your community and do activities that involve regularly meeting other human beings. Work, take classes, do volunteer work. Don't stay home sitting in front of your computer. Maybe watch less anime. Practice good grooming and hygiene. Wear clothes that fit and flatter. Become the kind of person a member of the opposite sex would want to be with. Then, buy a hooker. Fix that for you. What is the Matrix? Where's the lamp source? What can I do to feel fulfilled in life? Why did my mom have to die? Why are people answering with such philosophical questions like what happens after death? Those questions might very well just have a very boring answer, like assuming that something like a soul exists is very much a religious and not a logical thing. Ask something fundamental but scientific like how did the universe come into existence instead. The answer to a question like that would be absolutely phenomenal. That would even be a good question for religious folks, as it could prove or disprove any religion. God is almighty and powerful, so why did he create us? I mean, he didn't really need us. He wanted a more interesting version of The Sims. I mean, I don't need to painstakingly sculpt my shit into little brown animals while I'm alone in the shed, but it helps to pass the time. What's the seed for Satoshi Nakamoto's BTC account? Is it to humanity's benefit to seek extraterrestrial intelligence? There is a lot packed in here. More important, I think, than knowing if there is intelligence or life elsewhere in the universe, is the question of whether we should seek it. Do we need to lay low and avoid dangers from broadcasting our presence to the void, even if the universe is an unpopulated wasteland? Perhaps the strive to communicate and explore will still greatly benefit humanity. What are the most fundamental laws of nature? Does the Great Filter exist? Thanks for watching. Subscribe for 3 videos a day.